So just a few days now to go until the US election. The polls are saying one thing, TV pundits are saying another. But what does the betting money say? What are the professional gamblers saying about who's going to win this election? Here to talk about that is James Midmer from the betting exchange Betfair, Leighton Vaughan Williams, head of political forecasting at Nottingham Business School, and to my left, Mike Smithson, who set up the website politicalbetting.com. Thanks to all of you for being here. James, let me kick it off with you. Just tell us why a betting exchange you think is more of an accurate forecast than anything else.
Well, a betting exchange works by essentially hooking up people who want to make opposing sides of the same bet. So rather than a bookmaker where we're taking on people's money, we effectively act as an intermediary. And what that means is that the profit margin that a bookmaker would build into the odds is taken out, which means you essentially get a more pure price forming between customers, and it reacts in real time.
We should make it clear that these are non-US residents, non-US voters who are placing their money on Betfair, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we like to think with this particular market, it represents a worldview because, as you say, we don't take money from US customers because it's against the law in America.
Mike, why go with the betting exchange over the pollsters?
Well, quite simply, if you want to place a bet, you want somebody to actually accept the bet. And most good punters find it very difficult to find bookmakers who will take their money.
So what are the exchanges saying now? Who's going to win this?
The exchanges say that it's going to be Obama. It's about a 70% chance to Obama, 30% chance to Romney. It's very, very straightforward.
Is that where your money is?
I'm still split. I'm not totally convinced it's going to be Obama yet, and I like to end being a winner whatever happens. But I think that it's looking good, and certainly there was a huge betting move worldwide to Obama about 2 days ago on all the markets, both on ones that serve the US and ones that don't serve.
All right, we'll come to some of those details in a minute. Leighton, why is this a better indicator as far as you're concerned in political betting?
Well, the thing is that betting markets and the people who bet in them have access to the opinion polls, but they also have access to all sorts of other bits of information. And so it aggregates all the information which is available in the world. The people who know the most will bet the most. People who know very little will bet very little. And so basically it's a conversation about people with different opinions backed by money, which sort of focuses the mind. It turns it all into a sort of a high...
That's the key, though, isn't it? They're putting their money where their mouth is, right?
They're putting their money where their mouth is. And the other thing is, because there's so much money to be made now in these markets, tens of millions of pounds, people are sophisticated traders are coming in, people who really know what they're doing.
Okay, I want to talk about the sophistication as well of the betting exchanges. In 2008, Betfair was able to call some of these states 15, 20 minutes before some of the national polls. How were they able to do that?
Well, actually, we knew that Indiana was going to Obama 15 minutes, basically, 20 minutes after the close of polls, because sophisticated traders are looking at the internet and looking at the individual precincts and seeing how they had swung from the time before. Of course, the TV news didn't pick that up for hours.
Yes, I was in we had a party set up in a trading room. Bettors just doing this, and there was one guy who actually was with a fantastic amount of data of what was going on in Indiana, and literally based on 2 or 3 precincts of maybe 10,000 voters, looked at what was happening then and looked what was happening in 2004 and said it's going to Obama.
In such a close election as this one, are we going to see the betting exchanges able to do that sort of thing?
You'll get a big picture quite quickly. My worry is that you're going to see certain states, maybe even Ohio, where because of late voting and absentee ballots, it could be, a week and a half before they're able to give an actual definitive result on it. So, in fact, this whole thing could last, and people will be betting like crazy for maybe a long time.
I think this is interesting as well, and maybe something our viewers don't know. The polls ask who you're going to vote for, so it's an emotional response. Exactly. You guys ask who do you think's going to win. So this is asking a rational question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that distinction. I mean, when people are betting their own money, they tend to make a much more hard-headed decision. And I noticed only the other day there was a Gallup poll that came out that was one of the first ones to ask actually American voters, who do you think is going to win, rather than just a poll of who you're going to vote for. And it came out sort of 54-30 in favour of Obama. So I think, you know, it's a different question which people don't necessarily always appreciate.
But there is a factor, of course, that because the campaign see how important it is to be their person to be doing well in the betting, that there have been a lot of suggestions, especially in big markets like this, that maybe money is being put into the market, people are betting in order to influence the price. And that happened to was said to have happened to a big extent.
And that's why some people are mistrustful of the exchanges.
Well, yes, but it's not just the exchanges. They will try and bet right across the board, and there've been a lot of well documented things where this has actually happened.
Let me put something to you. Hypothetically, what's to stop a wealthy American banker with a vote putting $500,000 on Romney?
Nothing to stop him at all.
And swaying this thing completely.
Yes, except that so many other people are betting. I think we've seen that this week, where suddenly Romney went up by about 5 percentage points, huge amounts, but then that wasn't sustained because it takes a lot of money to keep that market going.
Actually, manipulation, it's been shown, actually makes the markets more efficient, more accurate, because it pumps money into the market, and so it brings sophisticated traders in who will say, "Thank you, I'll have that money off you."
Exactly. Anyone who was trying to do that, you'd see people take that increased price almost straight away. And it's worth noting at the moment that in the US election market, the next president, there's 12 million in it now, and it's accelerating all the time as we move towards election day. So it's becoming harder and harder. You know, early on that might be possible, but at the moment it's a real act.
What are some of the biggest bets you've got at the moment?
Well, the biggest individual bet that was struck on Obama was 20,000, and the biggest individual bet on Romney was at about 10,000.
And what are some of the quirkier bets that you can place on Betfair, US election related?
We don't tend to, because we're an exchange, we have to have interest in the market. So, you know, you need a lot of liquidity to form, and often with sort of more novelty bets, you know, we don't offer as many of those. We do have markets for every state though, and it's interesting that Virginia, which was seen as a key swing state, has actually swung in the Democrats' favour this week on Betfair.
All right, let me ask, to finish up with the rational question then that you asked, who do you think is going to win this election?
The markets say Obama.
Without a doubt, Obama.
Obama.
Well, the markets say a 3 in 4 chance for Obama, but remember that means there's a 1 in 4 chance in 4 parallel universes. In one of them, Romney will win.
That's a professor's response, I've got to say.
I'm 70% convinced that it's going to be Obama, but I'm not fully convinced yet, because the polls actually could well be wrong.
We will revisit this. Mike Smithson, my thanks to you. Leighton Vaughan Williams and James Midmer from Betfair. Thanks to all of you. And that's it from me. Of course, stay tuned to Reuters.com and the Reuters Insider platform for all our election coverage. And of course, on election day, we'll be analysing the numbers themselves. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.